I'm with the First Minister, Mark Drakeford, MS, at the Royal Welsh Show. First Minister, great to be back, to have the show up and running again. 3-year absence, jam-packed here. Couldn't be better, apart from extreme heat maybe. What are your views on the show being back in action?
Well, it is great, of course, to see everybody back here, and it's interesting. This is one of a series of events I've been to where people say, until you get back together again, you don't remember what you've missed. But when you're suddenly back and you're able to meet people and see it, it all comes back to you, and people are very glad indeed to be home here in Llanelwedd.
And you've had a good look round, I imagine, this morning, sampled the stores, the food, looked at the machinery, what's keeping Wales going agriculturally.
So much to see. You could spend a whole day here and still have half the show to visit. So, yes, we're on a bit of a gallop from one place to the next, but it is very important because the next couple of years are pivotal years for Welsh agriculture. Leaving the European Union means that change is absolutely inescapable, and we as a government are very committed to working hard with our colleagues in the rural economy, active farmers, to make sure that we design a future which is good for the planet. And the only way you can get a good future for Welsh farming is if you attend to those climate change things at the same time.
And we heard from the President and some of the young men that were looking at a different venture, joint ventures, different ways of farming, diversifying, and they were slightly critical of the Welsh Government, slightly saying, well, maybe there was a bit of nannying going on, maybe they were, the wilding, they weren't too happy with that. But I'm guessing you're listening, you're in talks with them, you're constantly negotiating with them.
Yeah, of course, it has to be a co-constructed future, a future in which we rely on collaboration and cooperation. I thought it was hugely encouraging to hear, particularly what the young men said at that opening ceremony, full of optimism for the future. And one of the reasons they're full of optimism is that they see themselves shaping that future. They're not asking themselves, what is somebody else doing? Their first question is, what can I do? And when you do that, you take your future back into your own hands. And I thought that was hugely encouraging.
I couldn't let you go without talking about Boris Johnson. Uncertain times, obviously, some would describe it as a disgraceful, undignified exit from Downing Street. You're looking to get on with this now, hoping that the Conservatives will get their act together, get somebody in that you can have a real dialogue with?
Well, we do definitely need a different sort of future with whoever wins. The last couple of years have been the most difficult ever in the history of devolution because we simply didn't have a government or a leader of a government who was serious about the future of the United Kingdom. Now what we need is somebody who will, in a respectful way, get people round the table and act together, because the interests of people in Wales are in so many ways the same as people in England and Scotland and Northern Ireland, and unless you have a government at Westminster that's prepared to recognise that, we'll have the troubles we've seen for the last 2 years.
The barometer is rising as we speak, so I'm going to let you get out of the sunshine. Mark Drakeford, many thanks for speaking to us today.
Diolch yn fawr, thank you very much.
That's great.
Great.
Thank you.
Dim problem.
Thank you. I know.